Hello everyone, it's Julie here at Big Lakes Dodge. Today I'll be showing you this 2021 Ram 1500 Sport Quad Cab with 4x4. Since it's a quad cab, it just does have that shorter cab, and you can tell there by the door. It's not as long as this door there. It does have the Sport Performance hood, which is just a little covered up by snow, but don't you worry about that. It's just the light dusting. We got LEDs for our headlights. We got fog lamps down there. We got some front parking sensors, so these will beep when you're getting too close to something on the front. It does also have brake assist, so it will apply the brakes too if it does detect something on the front. You can turn that off though if you don't quite like being in control of your braking. You can have it so that way it won't brake automatically for you, and then you only have to manually activate that. What else do we have? We do have the front air dam in this one as well. So you can't see it right now. The only time that you will see that down there is when you're going above 60. So as soon as you're going above 60, a little front air dam comes down, and that just helps block any of that bottom from the airflow. So it'll go around the truck instead of underneath and through everything down at the bottom there. We have a 392 rear axle ratio, so that means that it's better for towing. It's not going to be quite as good for fuel economy as a 355, but it'll be better for towing overall. We do have the 6-bolt pattern on this one, so that just means that the tires are rated to handle more weight. Speaking of tires, I think these are 20s. Let me just double check that. Let's have a look here. Where does it say? All terrain. So these are some all-season tires. 17s. What? No. Oh yeah, they're 20s. 20 inch. So that'd be 20 by 9 inch tires on there. It's black on the outside. I think they actually call it diamond black crystal pearl. We have proximity keyless entry. It does have remote start as well. I full started this one because the remote start only runs for 15-minute cycles, and you can do that twice. It's pretty cold out, so I wanted it nice and warm, so I did do a full start on that. If you heard that, that's the doors unlocking automatically. I do have the key in my pocket, so as long as the key is within 5 feet of the vehicle and you put your hand on the door handle, it will unlock that door for you. Looking in here, you can see we have a black interior. We got big door pockets for all your snacks and drinks, power locks, power windows. We do have heated mirrors that are, let me show you this quickly before I forget, that are breakaway mirrors. So, oh my gosh, I'm too weak. They may be frozen. There we go. So they do fold in manually. So if ever you're going through a tight drive-through or fitting in a tight parking spot, you can fold those in. They do have the trailer tow mirrors on them, so you can see your trailer. Now let's go on the inside. Now we can talk about the interior. So to break up some of this black, we do have these silver accents and this, I think it's carbon fiber panel. Our seats are leather faced. They are heated and vented in the front. So you can see the buttons for that up there. Other than that, they are powered. So both your driver's seat and your passenger seat are powered. You're not gonna have to shimmy around to adjust it. You just use these handy buttons there and it'll move automatically. Underneath those controls, we have our jack for changing our spare tire. So the spare tire is located underneath the truck bed in the back. I'll show you that once we get there. This little plastic panel just pulls right off, and then you just pop it back into place once you're all done with your jack there, but it's just tucked away under the seat, so it looks nice and neat. Got carpet floor mats. These do lock down, so that way they're not going to be moving around on you, but they do come out easily, so that way you can give them a quick clean. We all know that here in Canada we have to deal with a lot of mud, dirt, all that kind of stuff. We do have a little storage space here. I say little, but it's pretty decent sized. It does have a little rubber mat that is removable. I can't do it right now. Wait, let me take off my glove. There. So this does come up so you can clean it easily. It does have an interior light, so that way you can see what you're grabbing. I find that super helpful because I carry a lot of things with me when I go on a car ride. Your passenger will definitely appreciate it. I know that if you have a woman sitting in your passenger seat, if she's doing her makeup before a trip, you know, I tend to do that too. So it's nice to have a spot just to place things quickly. Down here we have our glove compartment, which has our owner's manual, a quick start guide so that way you can just quickly find some information on certain features, your SiriusXM information, and then your warranty information. All that's in here. It does come with a nice neat little pouch to put it in. Someone who didn't open this up, so that'll be up to you. You can put that in that nice neat little pouch, or I can do it for you, whatever. But that's just a quick look at our front interior up here. We'll go on in the back and we'll look in the back seat here. So you can see, if you've ever looked at any of our crew cabs, this is a little bit tighter, but still enough space to get in there. These seats do fold up, so if you are needing extra space for, I don't know, groceries or whatnot, you just lift this up here. It comes up in a 40-60 split, so this side is the 60, that side's the 40. Equals up to 100% bench seat. This is just one long carpet floor mat here. They do lock down here as well with these little clips. We have our back seat pocket, so you can throw books, magazines, whatever back there. Give me 1 second. All right, I just had to get my glove back on. So these do fold up. You have these little hooks here. That's for hanging your grocery bags or whatever if you want, but lots of space once you fold up those seats. Once you put them down, you can see how much leg room we're left with. These headrests do fold down in case you need that extra visibility out the back window. It is a power sliding window, so we have a nice little neat button up there to open that up with. It really helps with airflow, especially in the summertime when you don't want to burn out your AC all the time, like be using it constantly. So sometimes some fresh air is better. This center console pulls down. You have 2 extra cup holders there. And then it tucks away nice and neat if you do need that third seat. We have some cup holders up here as well. I didn't show it back here, but we do have this little spot for throwing some snacks, but you're definitely gonna want a spot to put your drinks, so that's just here in the center console. Below that we have our vents, our USB and our USB-C ports for charging your phone. There's plenty to go around, and then below that we do have a outlet that's rated for, I think it's 115 volts or 400 watts. So make sure not to use anything that would use more power than that. That's what it's rated for. All right, so that's back here. We do have some speakers up at the top there. For this one, it has a 9-speaker Alpine sound system. It's pretty good. I like our half-ton sound systems. I don't think that they have a bad one in the half-ton, so that's nice. But yeah, that's just a quick look back here. Like I said, we do have the 392 rear axle ratio. Looking in here, you can see we have the rear wheelhouse well liners. Let me see. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. It sounds right, but I think I'm saying it wrong. Rear wheelhouse liners. Okay, anyways, this is a nice hard plastic there. You don't want any of those belt liners. I had one in one of my previous SUVs. Those tend to get weighed down with mud and then rub along your tire, and then you got to replace them every few months. These plastic ones, you never have to deal with that. Mud hits them, bounces off, you're good. If mud does get stuck, it's not a whole bunch and it's not going to weigh it down. So it's really nice to have those. It protects your all your bits and bobs in there, and also it protects from any rocks shooting up on the inside and then denting around here, because when that happens, it will chip the paint and it'll rust over time. So this one won't do that, and that's great. We love that. What else do we have? We have our rear parking sensors. Yeah, we just had to look at them. All right, so we do have rear parking sensors on the back here as well. Those will beep once you get within a what is it? I want to say like at least 2 feet, but I think it's more. Maybe it's 4 feet. When you get within about 4 or 5 feet of something, it'll start beeping, and then it'll do a solid beep, like a full beep when you're within a foot of something. So just keep that in mind if it is doing that solid beep, that you're within a foot of hitting whatever's behind you. We do have the brake assist, so you can have that activated for the back as well. We do have some sport badging here, our Ram logo, make it look nice and fancy. They are color matched to the vehicle. This bed step is a little bit more. All right, as I was saying, this bed step is more inset than the older models because it just gives you a bit more time to clear off the snow. So if you ever look at any older trucks where the bed step is flat, it's flush against there. If snow gathers up on it and then you leave it and it freezes into ice, it's going to dent your tailgate right here. So having the bed step more inset gives you a bit more time to clear that snow off before it's going to start denting your tailgate there. Speaking of the tailgate, this is an all aluminum tailgate, so it's nice and light when you open it up. It is dampened as well, so it's going to come down nice and easy. It's not going to fall on you. But it's nice and light because it's aluminum. So if you do decide to take it off, you unhook those clips there. You turn it at a 45-degree angle and you just pull it off. And even I could do that. That's how nice and light it is, which is saying something. I am definitely not the strongest person at this dealership. In our bed, it does have the cargo management system. So these little indents along, those are spots where you can put a plank of wood across and divide up your cargo in the back. So say you want to hold some propane tanks near your bed, so that way you don't have to climb near the edge of your bed, so that way you don't have to climb all the way in the back. You could have them there and they're not going to fly around and roll around in the back of your truck bed. I'll put this back up there. But also, this being all aluminum, it's going to stay looking nice longer. It's not going to rust over time. So if you do ever end up getting any of those dents, they're not going to rust. Do have a backup camera here, which we'll see all back here. It does have the active guidelines, which I'll show you once we get up to the front. Class 4 hitch receiver, so you can hook that up. It's rated for 12,000 pounds. The truck itself is rated for around 10,000 pounds. We got a 4 and a 7-pin wiring harness. And then we do have these little lights there. That's for your license plate, so that way the cops can know who to give the ticket to. We got dual exhaust coming out the bumpers. What else can you mention? We'll move on. For our fuel, it does have a dual flap fuel filter. So that's just to help keep dirt and debris out of your fuel, keep your engine running smooth. One in the back here. Again, you can see a tiny little door pocket there, speakers, power windows. Got the same, this is the same because it's one long piece, carpet floor mats. This side folds up as well, so you got some extra space under there. And then your back seat pocket. Now we'll go on into the driver's side. When you have a look up here, I can talk a little bit more. Oh, I did forget to mention it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I forgot to mention that this is a Hemi V8, so it does have the V8 in it and 8-speed automatic transmission. Hopping up here in our nice comfy leather seat, we do have the power adjustable knobs on the side there. Got our power locks, power windows, our powered mirrors. To adjust those, you just select left or right, and then you use these arrows to adjust. These are the controls for your headlamps. So they are off right now. If I were to set them to auto, they will go either to your daytime running lamps or your regular headlights. So that's how you adjust them. You turn on your fog lamps, you can turn them on automatically, whatever you need to adjust them to, that would be there. Then you can adjust the brightness of them as well as the ambient lighting in here. I believe this one's our ambient lighting. I don't know why it's not adjusting, but it should dim the lights in here or turn them higher if you need. We have power adjustable pedals, so these will pull the pedals forward or backward. It kind of just changes the angle that they are at. So if you do need to adjust your seat and the pedals aren't feeling quite comfortable, you can adjust them there to make sure that they're just right. We have our electric park brake right there. On our steering wheel, we have our controls for our driver information screen, which is pretty standard. We got our speed, vehicle information, so you can see your tire pressure. It's good to monitor that there because that does affect the ride of the vehicle. So if your tires aren't properly inflated, it may drive rougher. You're not going to get as good of fuel economy. It's going to weigh your tires down more or unevenly. So it's really, really important to keep those all the same pressure. You can also see, let me just go back up. You can also see like our gauges, so you can see your coolant temp, trans temp, oil pressure. You don't want to keep an eye on those, make sure everything's in good tip-top shape. The vehicle will alert you when it gets to be too much, but you know, it's good to keep an eye on it just to see if it is getting low, any of those. Our off-roading is our pitch and roll, so you can see what angle that the vehicle itself is at. And then you can also see your drivetrain. So if you have your 4x4 on, you would see if you're in 4 high, 4 low, or 4 auto. You would see that there. We also have our trip information, so you can track your trip, how long the trip is, how many kilometers you've driven, and your average fuel economy. This one is way out of whack. So just make sure to keep that in mind. You click OK to reset it. That the fuel economy will change based off of how you drive. Then we have our trailer tow page. So this is, you can monitor your gain on your trailer brake. And then you can also track your trailer distance, so that way you know if you need to replace the brakes on your trailer or whatnot. We have our messages, so if it says check engine or anything like that, it will store that message here for you to view later on. And then this is your screen setup. So you can see we have trip B, you can see the kilometers that we've driven. If I were to click OK, we're gonna go upper left, and then you can switch what information is there. So we can see our oil pressure, or we can see our oil temp, our battery voltage, trans temp, coolant temp, trailer trip, trailer brake, or none. Or we can have our compass, because you can see we have our temperature there, we have our oil temperature there, and our battery voltage. So I'm going to put it on our compass there, and then that's saved. So these, all 4 corners of those are adjustable. You can adjust them to be what you would like it to be, whatever information you want handy. Then we're back to our speedometer. One thing to point out is you can do miles per hour, as you can see down there. All you do is click OK right here. That's also how I was scrolling through those pages. So you click OK again and go back to kilometers. But you just use these arrows to scroll through there, so you can see that's how you do that. And we have our cruise control. Works like a regular cruise control. Most of you should know how that works. Gear limit. So this one is to limit your gears. If ever you don't want to go above a certain gear, then you would go ahead and set that gear. It will gear down below that, but it won't gear above whatever you set it as. On the back of our steering wheel, we have our rocker switches. This one does your tuning, so that will change your song or your radio station preset. This one will do your volume control, so that will turn your volume up or down. What else do we have? I think that's it for our steering wheel. It is a leather wrapped steering wheel as well. This is a push start with the auto start stop. So if ever you want to turn off that auto start stop feature, it should have it here somewhere. Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry, I lied. That's on our newer models. Okay, so this one being a 2021, it doesn't have that, but it does have the auto start stop. So will shut off the engine when it's stopped at a stoplight for, so if you're in drive, you have your foot on the brake and you're stopped for like more than 2 or 3 seconds, it'll turn off your engine. That'll save you fuel. It'll cut back on emissions. And then it'll just restart when you let go of the brake and you press the accelerator pedal. What else can I mention? Our 4x4 is right here below or right beside our gear shifter. So this one is how you shift gears from reverse, park, drive. You just use this little turn knob. One thing to keep in mind is that people get scared that they're going to accidentally turn their gear shifter when they're trying to turn down their volume. And while that may happen due to user error, you know, I want to reassure you that this will not let you go into reverse or park when you're driving down on the highway. If you're going too fast, it'll tell you that it can't switch into that gear. At least mine did. I know this from experience. That's why I'm going to reassure you guys. It won't let you. So it's nice because you don't have to really worry about that actually being an issue. If you're going slower, it may let you, but you're going to want to make sure that you're going the proper speed. I think it's under 8 kilometers per hour. 4x4 here, we got 4 auto, so that will just switch as needed. So trucks are usually rear wheel drive, and then it'll engage the front wheel when it deems that you need that extra traction. 4 highs, it'll be all for I think they're locked up. Are they locked up? I don't know. No, they're not. Anyways, 4 high and 4 low. 4 low, you're going to want to use that when you're climbing over like rough terrain like rocks or trying to climb out of some mud. Make sure you're not spinning your wheels too fast because you do have to go slow in 4 low. Our screen here, we have our radio, which has our AM, FM and XM radio. Your presets are up at the top here, so if you do want to set your presets, you just pick your radio station and hold that. You can do your tuning, so if you want to tune to a certain channel, if you want to replay, you can replay back to the beginning of the song. Your media, you can choose which media you're playing from, so it does have USB, USB-C ports as well as auxiliary ports. You can go ahead and choose which device that you want to connect to there. We have our climate control, which you can control your dual zone temperature control. You can also control your, where is it? Heated seats and vented seats, as well as your steering wheel. We do also have the buttons for them manually down here. Your Uconnect apps, you can see every app that the vehicle has there, and then your phone. So I think this one may have the Uconnect 4 in it. Let me just see if it says. It doesn't tell me, so I'm going to assume it has a Uconnect 4. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you may have to connect through your USB. And then here, this is our controls for both sides, heated and vented seats, as well as your automatically dimming rear view mirror, which will dim when when someone's brights hit it. That's just to help prevent blinding you. It won't engage when you are in reverse. The backup camera you can view without having to go into reverse. You can see our active guidelines there, so if I were to turn the steering wheel, you see those active guidelines turn. The dotted line in the middle is for lining up your trailer hitch. Then we have the trailer hitch zoom, so you click the little magnifying glass and it zooms in on your bumper, so that way you can make sure to line it just right. We're going to exit out of that. You have your settings there, you can play with those. Your phone, that tab is where you would connect your Bluetooth. It's also where you will connect your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are both super handy. You can use the apps that are on your phone right on this screen. So if you play music from Spotify, or you want to do any phone calls, or you want your messages to pop up, it's nice to have that engaged, because then you can do all of that here. Then your settings. So it's always good to go and play with your settings. Sometimes you don't know you want things a certain way until you go and play with it a little bit. So right now, like I mentioned, it does have the active braking. If you don't want that, if you don't want it to brake for you, you can have it set to warn you only. So it'll only do the beeping to warn you when it thinks that you are going to collide with something, but it won't press the brakes for you. If you do want that extra braking or that extra safety with the active braking, you can go ahead and turn that on there. This is the park sense volume, so those parking sensors that beep when you're getting too close to something, that's how loud or quiet they are. It does have the brake assist engaged for that. We do have the guidelines, which you can turn off. Rain sensing windshield wipers, so it does have a little sensor behind here actually, where if rain hits it, as long as your wipers are in the on position, it will wipe them away automatically. It's just one less thing to have to deal with. Hill start assist is when you are on a hill and then you let go of the brakes. It's going to hold your brakes for a few seconds, so that way you can accelerate without having that bit of rollback. The tire fill assist will help you when you are filling your tires. So, you know, in cold like this, sometimes you're going to get that low tire pressure light. They do have some natural, I want to say like seepage, that's not the right word, but the air will seep out of them naturally, and so due to the cold, when you are filling up your tires, this will beep when you are filling them. So 1 beep means that stop filling them, they're filled just right. 3 beeps either means that you filled them too much, or when you're letting out air, it means that you've let out too much air. So that'll just help you determine it without having to like turn on the vehicle, check the parking sense, or check the tire pressure sensors and whatnot. But yeah, just go through your settings, play with them, make sure that everything's just where you want it to be. Then we have our manual controls for the climate control there. This one's our volume, our tuning. Below that we have our traction control, so you can turn it off here. This is our tow haul mode, and these are our parking sensors, so they are off at the moment. If any snow or anything like that gets on them, they will detect that as something that you are going to bump into, so they will start beeping. So that's why it's nice to be able to turn it off quickly there. Or if you're parking in tall grass, it will detect that as well. This is your trailer brake controller. It is integrated into here, so it's just right handy on the dash. I already kind of went over these. They do connect. They're nice and close to where you would put your phone. So this is a phone holder. You put your phone here like this. The cord comes out the bottom, and then it plugs right in there. So that way you're not going to be bending your cords. And then below that, we do also have a another outlet. Then tons and tons of storage space. It's hard to kind of display how big this is, but it is massive. This is lots of storage space. And then you also have your cup holders here, which pull out. You have this space for storage as well, and then some spots to put your change. Over here we have your center console. It's a little bit dirty, so let's ignore that. But we have an extra USB port in there, and then some more storage space in there, which does have a light, so that way you can see what you're grabbing. We have a universal home remote, which is your garage door opener, but it can do more than a garage door. You can connect to a powered gate. You can connect to a home security system if you arm it before you leave. You can connect to your exterior lights in case you want to turn them on when you get home. So this does many things other than a garage door. It is a fairly simple setup. It sets up through Bluetooth, so we do have a video. I think Chrysler has a video somewhere where it shows you how to do that quickly. So just like a little YouTube search would bring that up for you. We have our interior lights. You can turn all of them on if you click that. You can turn all of them off like that. They will stay off even when you open the doors. This one does your power sliding window, open, close, and then we have a nice little spot for your sunglasses holder, or for your sunglasses. Let me just look at my little sheet here. I did mention it has remote start, but I'm gonna say that again so that way you guys know for sure. All right, I think we're good here, so we'll wrap this up. There's one final look at the interior. We'll have one more look at the exterior. You can see how stunning this truck is again. There you go. So if you have any other questions about it, or if you're wanting to come down and have a look at it, take it for a drive, feel free to give us a call here at Big Lakes Dodge. We're always happy to help, and I'll see you in the next one.